checked off your list for spring ball?
Yeah, I think so. I think we did. There's probably just a few things that you don't quite get in special teams that we'll address in fall camp, but I thought we came out of this a more physical football team, things that we needed to improve on. You know, nights like this, as a head coach, you're kind of holding your breath to make sure you get out of it healthy as possible. I thought we had a lot of young players play hard, show some flashes of doing some things, and all in all, very pleased with this spring.
How did Jalen look and the quarterbacks generally? How'd they execute?
I thought they executed very well. Again, Jalen has real good command and really feel for what we want to do. I think Andy Kolnicki and the offensive staff continue to evolve the offense to all our quarterback strengths, but obviously it starts with him.
I looked over you. I never saw you smile. I guess one side did.
I never smile. That's what everybody says. But I did one side. I said to the team, and in fact, I just said it on the radio, was in days like this, as a head coach, I've always sit there and if one side's playing really well, does that mean the other side's not? So you're trying to look at it that way. I'm trying to make sure we're staying healthy. I thought we played clean. I thought we played fairly hard, and all the things that you would want as a head coach. And we also practiced yesterday, and it was still a fairly physical practice, and we told the team we weren't going to let up. So part of that has sometimes effects in this.
How do you avoid a last day of school kind of vibe?
Yeah, there's some of that, Matt. There really is. But I thought they were loose and came out, and I think they appreciated the crowd that showed up and a beautiful evening. And I think there's some of that because there are some guys that have played a lot of football for us that didn't play a ton of snaps tonight, and they knew that. And so some of that kind of laxes the intensity. But, again, there's other guys that were told it's going to be a big evaluation moment for them, and I think they responded.
Anyone stand out?
Well, it's kind of hard to say there right now without looking at it all. I still think some of our younger running backs played hard because we've been pressed on some things. Quentin Skinner makes a big catch. I thought Doug Edelman's really had a really nice really from spring break on at the receiver spot. Devin Phillips continues to get better for us and feeling comfortable in our program, starting to be a little more of a leader. I think Austin Booker shows up for us again. J.B. Brown. I think we know what Rich Miller and Taiwan are giving us, so all of that is good.
You've talked about needing to get your best 5 linemen on the offensive line. It's hard to tell for us out here. Yeah. How are they? Are they coming around?
Well, they are, but at the same time, we lost Michael Ford in the beginning of practice tonight. We had moved Dominic Pooney out to left tackle about a week ago, and he had been playing really well. He moved back to center because Nowitzki hasn't practiced all spring. Where else am I missing there? We're missing like 3 centers, and this Joe Kraus is the other one that's been out. So we've been struggling a little bit at the center spot, especially when you're rotating 3 groups. So rotating that, but I saw, Marj Adams-Reed has played really well. We moved him over to left guard. Kobe Baines has played right tackle, right guard. What I really like is that I think we've got the right movable pieces to make sure that no matter where the situation is and the health of the offensive line, that we'll have the next 5 available. And I feel much more comfortable at this point than we probably did a year ago and even in August, where we are in the 2 deep in the offensive line.
You told us the other day about what comes next as far as meeting with your guys and that whole everything that goes into that. What happens tomorrow for you?
Well, tomorrow for me,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'll get a little time with my family. No, we have a bunch of recruits yet here in town. I think, we have our signees and our new enrollee walk-ons are here. So there's some of them that'll be here through the weekend. We have some recruits that are here that are still taking tours, and I'll have some meetings with them. It's been emergency break. It's going to be a real full. It was a full day today. It'll be that way tomorrow. The players will check in with the medical staff, and then also start transitioning out of the locker room and move over to the visitors' locker room as we get a chance to jump on the renovations right away.
You've talked about the need for the defense to rise up from where they were a year ago. Have you seen that so far?
Yes, I have. I think, again, we've challenged them. In my 9 spring practices at the Division I level, for spring football, this is by far the most physical 15 practice practices really, combined, I guess, that I've ever, kind of been through. We challenged them that way, and not just in live scrimmages, but in other drills and things. And I really think they embraced that, and they understood that, and on both sides of the ball, I think we made a lot of progress.
Looking back at the last 15 practices, what did you learn about where your program's at?
I think we're, first of all, we're becoming a more experienced team. I think you can see everyone's understanding, embracing the daily routines, and it's being passed within the locker room, not just from the coaching staff or the strength staff. That's important. We're being a more confident and understanding team of the process. I think we've taken a huge step in becoming the player-led program that we need to be.
More than starting wide receivers, it's kind of that 1 through 6 rotation, really, guys getting snaps, and Terry and Peterson, guys that may get a bigger dose next year.
Yep.
Having watched them, how deep is that group?
It's a very deep group, and I think when you look at our offense, you have to holistically look at all the skill positions, because again, the offensive staff and led by Andy has done the job of all the different personnel groupings that we can use. So when you're competing for playing time and touches and reps, it can be within multiple tight ends on the field, multiple running backs on the field, or multiple receivers. So everybody's where you go. I go back to that Houston game, a year ago, where 11 guys caught passes in a game. So guys know if they're productive and they're in tune to what's happening, they got a chance to get touches and get on the field.
Lance, it's kind of crazy to think this is only your second spring.
I know.
Just what's it compared to last spring?
Oh, night and day where we've been since, we're not quite at that 2-year period yet of being here, and in so many ways we've taken, big steps, positive steps, but we're nowhere near where we want to be and where it needs to be for the big picture for longevity and consistency. But I'm very proud of this group. I'm proud of the guys that really been through all of this since we arrived, and how much I think just our culture and attitude has changed.
Have you seen any difference in terms of the excitement around the program, not just this one, but like the entire athletic department?
I think so. I think everything that you see, is great that we had a chance to recognize our women's basketball team. But I think when you can see, especially when an athletic department, that the tradition of our basketball program, and you can see when many people want to try to emulate those things. And I think winning can breed winning in so many different ways. And I think, between the crowd tonight, things on the hill, all these things that people have started to see that can help. I think it helps our university, I think it helps our community, and I think it helps our state.
Thanks, Lance.